It was the kind of winter morning that made silence sound heavier than words. Frost clung to the old wooden gate, and the mist hung low over the fields like a curtain between two worlds. I was leaving. Leaving home. Leaving everything I thought I'd outgrown. My duffel bag was heavy on my shoulder, but not nearly as heavy as the feeling that I was walking away from something I couldn't name. Then I saw her. Standing by the gate in that faded blue coat, the one she always wore when she waited for me as a kid. My grandmother. She wasn't supposed to be there. I'd said my goodbyes last night. But there she was, standing with her gloved hands resting on the frosted wood, her breath painting clouds into the cold air. When she saw me, she smiled softly, like she'd known I'd come this way. "I thought you might try to leave without saying goodbye again," she said, her voice trembling between a laugh and a sigh. I tried to smile back, but my throat tightened. I just didn't want to make it harder. She nodded, her eyes glistening. Harder for who? That question cut deeper than I expected. Because honestly, I didn't know anymore. For months, I'd been planning to move out of this small town, to chase a job in another city, another life. Everyone said it was what I should do. But somehow, standing there by that old gate, all I could feel was the weight of every memory that had passed through it. Every goodbye, every return, every promise made and broken. She reached out her hand, small, trembling, but steady. And then, softly, she said the words that froze time. "If you go, promise you won't look back." At first, I thought she was being poetic. But there was something deeper in her voice, a plea. A knowing. "Why not?" I asked, trying to laugh it off. She looked away, her gaze lost somewhere beyond the fog. "Because if you do," she whispered, "you'll never really leave. Part of you will stay here, stuck between the life you want and the life you're afraid to lose." That was her way. She spoke in riddles, in half-truths wrapped in love. When I was little, she'd tell me, the heart has more than one home, but only one truth. I never really understood what that meant until much later. That morning, I hugged her goodbye. Her arms were smaller, weaker than I remembered, but they held a kind of strength I couldn't put into words. Then I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. Not once. But that promise, those words, echoed in my mind for years. City life swallowed me whole. Deadlines. Rent. Traffic. The blur of faces that didn't know your name. I built a career, made friends, fell in and out of love. But sometimes, on quiet nights, when the world went still, I'd hear her voice again. "If you go, promise you won't look back." At first, I thought it was just nostalgia. But then, one morning, 5 years later, I got the call. She was gone. The world felt strangely silent after that. I took the first train home, and when I got there, it was like stepping into a photograph, everything exactly as I'd left it. Except for her absence, which filled every corner like a shadow. After the funeral, I wandered out to the field. The old wooden gate still stood there, though the paint was peeling now, the hinges rusted. And for the first time in 5 years, I broke my promise. I looked back. That's when I saw it. Tied to the gate with a thin piece of twine was a small envelope, weathered by rain and time. My name was written on it, in her delicate, slanted handwriting. Inside was a single note. "If you're reading this, it means you looked back. That's okay. It means you've learned what leaving really means. You see, love isn't about staying or going, it's about remembering. I didn't ask you not to look back because I wanted you to forget. I wanted you to move forward, so when you finally did look back, you'd see how far you'd come. I'm proud of you. Grandma." I don't know how long I stood there in the cold, holding that letter. But for the first time in years, I felt peace, like every choice I'd made, every road I'd taken, somehow led me back to that moment. And that's when I realized. She'd never really been asking me to leave her behind. She'd been teaching me how to leave, how to let go without losing love. A week later, before heading back to the city, I did something I'd never done before. I painted the old gate, bright blue, just like her coat. And on the inside of the wood, where only someone leaving could see, I carved her words. If you go, promise you won't look back. Then, beneath it, I added my own. But when you do, know that love will still be here. Years later, whenever I visit home, I find small things people have left by that gate. A note, a flower, a photograph. It's become something of a quiet ritual in town. People come there when they're about to leave for something new, college, work, love, even grief. They whisper their promises, touch the gate, and move forward. And maybe, one day, they'll look back too. Not with regret, but with gratitude. Because that's what she taught me. That the act of kindness isn't always in what we give. Sometimes, it's in what we let go. Epilogue. The last time I passed by the gate, a young girl stood there, suitcase by her side. She looked nervous, like she was about to take her first big step into the world. I smiled at her and said, "It's okay to go." She hesitated. "But what if I miss home too much?" I pointed at the carving on the wood and said, "Then you'll know where to look back to." She smiled through her tears. And just before she turned away, she whispered softly, "If I go, I promise I won't look back." And in that moment, I swear, I felt her beside me again. Her hand, her warmth, her love. Living on in every goodbye that wasn't an ending, but a beautiful beginning. Moral. True love doesn't chain you to the past, it gives you wings to move forward, and the courage to look back without pain.